Hello, welcome to the Lolpo Cup 2023.
Hello. BAW as well here. Welcome to the second to last match in the round of 48 between Giant from Germany and Richard Wolf from Colombia. This is a match, Adam, in your part of the bracket, so you will probably be very interested about the outcome of this match.
Yes, certainly, the winner of this match is going to face Smooth in the round of 40. Giants 33, Smooth seed 32, so the closest possible one in terms of seeding. But you can be sure Richard Wolf the Sixth has certainly different plans, trying to win this match and then therefore advancing who knows how far in the tournament.
Yeah, and then you see the brackets. So the top row of the bracket is the row where Adam is playing. So there are potential opponents for you. As I said, it's a second to last match of round of 48, and then we will proceed with the more and more advanced stages of the tournament. Here you can see the second part of the bracket. So round of 24 to finals. As I said, in the top row, we have the potential opponents for my co-commentator and co-organizer, Adam MTS. So Adam, we have plenty of matches so far being played, but still one result is missing. You know which result it is? It's 5-3. Yeah. Do you think we can experience this result today, or is it still too soon for this result to happen?
Well, Giant surely a strong favorite in the prediction contest. Literally everyone picked up him. But who knows?
And who knows? But also like favorite in terms of Paul Das PB 667 to 446 from Richard, and also big discrepancy in the qualification. Giant with 549 and Richard with 394. So yeah, Giant on paper is a favorite, but as we know, in Tetris everything is possible. We had a very weird day yesterday with a very weird series of misdrops and misplacements in almost every match we experienced. So yeah, everything is possible, but the match is best of 9, so there is some room for errors and some room for improvements. So let's see how it develops.
Not too
Richard
much though.
Wolf.
Best of 9 seems long, while it really isn't, especially on PAL.
Yeah, as we said yesterday in our stream, we have to analyze all of the scores from this year's tournament, and maybe adjust it for the next one. So let's see how it develops. What I wanted to say, the Richard as a lower seed should have played a match in the round of 48, but unfortunately wasn't able because his opponent Sakurion didn't show up and got a walkover to the round of 48. So technically it will be the first match for both players in this tournament. The match best of 9, and to remind to everyone, this will be level 18 starts only. And as I can see in the background, the players are live, so we should be able to bring them in a moment. And then when the players are ready, we will proceed.
Giant seat 32, Richard Wolf seat 48. Giant, the CTWC Germany 2018 champion.
Adam, I'm not sure if Giant was seat 32. I suppose he was seat 33.
Oh yeah, that's a typo, I believe.
Because Smooth was on 32nd position.
Here it is, sorry. Giant seed 33.
Yeah, sorry for interrupting you, but
Richard
wanted
seed
to be precise.
48, Giant CWC Germany 2018 champion, and Richard Wolf, Nathan, PAL 2022 finalist, also top TNT Euro streamer since September 2022.
Yeah, Richard is very active as a streamer, as a commentator in our Tetris community. He does a very good job. He is almost rescuing every type of tournament. So yeah, but today is a time for him to play. He doesn't have to commentate. He doesn't have to restream. Today is the time for him to play. Okay, as I can see, Giant is kind of off standstill. Is it on our side, Adam, or is it on side of Giant?
I'm sure it's on Giant's side. Actually, I'm absolutely sure.
So Giant, if you can hear us, can you please adjust your screen to stencil readiness? Because yeah, our stream is prepared so in that way that you have to be stencil ready in order to see everything in a correct spot. Oh, and now it looks way much better, so Giant, it should be fine. But we also need your camera back. At least a hand cam is required. If you don't mind showing your face, it's also fine. But at least a hand cam for this tournament, which is an unofficial self-proclaimed. How did it go, Adam? I can't recall.
It's an self-proclaimed, unofficial Waldasword Championship.
Waldasword Championship, and as you can see, with a pretty nice prize pool, currently at $566.66. So yeah, there's something to play for, and if you want, you can contribute to the prize pool. Madam, if you would be so nice to put the link to the match arena.
Yes, here it is.
Okay, Richard is a player from South America, so I can't remember if Richard has the technology to play the same piece set, but also Giant looks like he's playing on the original cartridge. So guys, please let us know if you have the possibility to play the same piece sets, or do we play the wild random seeds and we are unable to play the same piece sets. Please let us know what's your capabilities in terms of those technologies, ancient technologies, about 30 years old. Okay, Richard ever drives also ship here, so that's a nice thing. And what about Giant? Are you able to play the same seat? Sorry. As I see Richard warming up, it looks like he has a slightly better dust control in the qualifiers. So maybe he spent some time on training PAL. Giant, if you have a PAL console and if you have a Tetris Gym and you put the PAL mode, yes, it's accurate, so that you will be able to play same seats. Is it what you meant, or did I understand you incorrectly? Please let me know. Or please let us know. I'm not the only one here. It's okay. It looks like we will be able to play the same seats. Giant is preparing. So in a few moments, guys, you will receive the first seat. But I'm not sure if it's on my end, but it looked like Giant's console showed some really weird signs. Yeah, you have a clear picture like a racket 10 tries. Okay, so it looks like both players are ready to play the same seat. So you have a same seat. You have the code of the same seat in the chat, guys. So whenever you're ready, please put the seat into your game, and then after each game we will increment the first 2 digits by 1. So we start with 7-1, then 8-2, 9-3, and so on. So the first seat for you for game number 1 is 7-1-6-E-9-6. And we see a readiness from Giant's side. Waiting for Richard. Richard
And
is
Richard is
also
ready
ready.
as well. So the match starts in 3, 2, 1, Tetris.
Good luck and have fun, guys. And both players started with nice D and S's at the beginning, and O piece and Z and O. So the best pieces you could only imagine at the beginning of a Tetris game. Okay, and you see different approaches just from the start. But both players with no long bars, so no possible to get a Tetris. And there is the first Tetris for Richard. A Giant still struggling a little bit with getting his first Tetris. Yeah, not the best sequence for the beginners, but let's see how the guys will be able to handle those seeds the game gives them. Okay, so about 20 lines in, and both players about 35k, and Giant with some weird placements, so he needs to bring it down. Richard is relatively safe with his board, and Giant pretty high, so let's see how he cleans his board.
This looks like a really long burning. It's one point in the middle of the board, covering that hole. Very often takes a lot of time. That's the case here. Fortunately for Giant. Still burning.
Oh, and
Richard
Richard
also
with
with a series of misdrops. That looks really serious. Manages to get a Tetris, and Giant also in massive trouble. It's something to the left, right now. Richard on the lead, and Giant tops out. Simon top out, but
Richard takes the game.
with the highest score takes the game.
It was a very, very tough start for both players, unfortunately, but let's hope it will be better in game number 2. So 1-0 for Richard. We increment the seed to 8-2. Yes, Giant, you're right. So if both players are ready, then we can go with game number 2.
Here they are. The second game starts in 3, 2, 1, Tetris.
And they're starting with the long bars.
Giant with much cleaner start this time.
And gets a Tetris. Richard starts with early digging. Let's see how it goes for Richard. But there are so many S's, Z's in those seeds, and when your board is not so ready for accommodating all of them, it causes an immediate trouble for the guys, both for Richard and for Giant as well. But Giant has about 40k lead, so about 2 Tetrises, so Giant is in a pretty a little bit better situation, but his board isn't perfect as well, so yeah, both players struggle, but let's hope they can find a solution how to fix the boards and how to get the best their scoring potential.
Yes.
Oh, and Giant. Salami wanted to say something, sorry.
It kind of looks like they haven't really managed to get into their games yet. Sure, with next few games it will get only better and better.
Okay, and Richard is Tetris ready, and with another Tetris, Richard overtakes Giant, but and Giant misses. Oh my god, unfortunate top out for Giant, and Richard takes the game. Richard leads 2-0. What happened to Giant? Richard, you are good. You can top out whenever you want. Giant too nervous playing Richard, or is it simply a bad day for him?
Both is ready. Third game starts in 3, 2, 1. Tetris. Well, it's hard to say, but Giant really needs to win this game. So otherwise would be 3-0 behind, which is a massive lead. Such a short match.
Okay, and Richard starts pretty cleanly with Tetris, Giant as well. Okay, this game looks way much better for both players. No immediate trebles, they're going for Tetrises, another Tetris for Richard, 69k, meanwhile Giant with 74. So maybe this game will be a breakthrough for both of them. And Richard and Giant with simul Tetris, 94 for Richard, 96 for Giant. So very, as you said it yesterday, Finland and Sweden game. For those who don't know, we replaced neck and neck by the two neighbor countries from the Northern Europe.
But it's obvious that Sweden sucks.
Yes, oh, and Richard is pretty high. Richard needs to find a solution. Okay, his Tetris ready, gets a Tetris 122, and meanwhile Giant with 107, so Richard in a lead. Okay, and Richard is risking a little bit. Will it backfire, or will Richard find a solution to bring it down? He's finding a solution. So 155 for Giant and 173 for Richard. So Richard about one Tetris lead. Pretty comfortable for both of players, are just the looks of their stacks. So yeah, let's see. Maybe we will see a full distance game today in this game number 3. Would be nice. Oh, and Richard with those two misdrops of J's and then series of S pieces, and that will be it for Richard. Unfortunately, 177, 840 after 51 lines. So Giant, you're already good. So you get your first game. So feel free to top out whenever you find it correctly for you, and then we can proceed with game number 4. And Giants and Giant tops out. So guys, you can put the seats and we can start game number 4.
In 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Giant managing to get back within one the game difference. Close as possible after 3 games. Giant behind. Still quite a lot of work to be done by both of them, and Richard starts this game with a misdrop on the left. Who's gonna hurt his pace. Giant in the meantime unable to get any lombas and covers the well, but Richard's board collapses entirely. That looks very bad. He's going to top out.
After 6 lines only, so Giant, it escalated quickly, but in favor for you. You are already good for game number 4, so top out whenever you want. It's 2-2.
And all of a sudden, it was 2-0 for Richard. Now we are tied at 2 each. Just in a matter of like 3 minutes, really. Next game starts in 3, 2, 1, Tetris. It's quite amazing, like how quickly all 18 the situation may change. It seems like, oh, it's 18, it's easy, but games are so short. The speed isn't that slow at the end of the day. 2 minutes drops might be out. One unlucky game. Games are gone.
Sometimes one misdrop is enough because if you misdrop the piece in a worst possible place, which happens relatively often in PAL, then it's virtually game over. So there is it's a very difficult and challenging type of Tetris when you play PAL, especially with dust. So yeah, you have to be kind of ready for every situation. And Giant is facing some. Oh, okay, but he should be fine. Let's see. Yeah, he should be able to bring it down. And there it is. Tetris for Giant, 61k, 16k for Richard. And both players with relatively safe-looking stacks. So let's hope they can build for the Tetrises and get more
The
points.
Giant with a massive hank on the left, but guess the Lombard to bring it down. Basically, with that bot, if not for the Lombard, he would have topped out, most likely. He's still in trouble, but should be able to manage it. Although now with that right to end this misdrop, that's gonna be it for Giant, I'm afraid. Yes, that's it. Giant tops out. Richard, you need to get to 90,000 points. 90,000 points is the score to get.
89 will be also enough. Yeah, but virtual 90k is the score you need.
And Richard misdrops. Needs the Lomba. Gets the Lomba. Still needs yet another one to the right. Has to cover the well. That's not so high, but definitely not a situation you want to be at when doing such a chase down. Now gets a Tetris. One more Tetris will be enough, and with this Tetris, Richard takes the game and the lead back.
3-2. GG's Richard. You're safe. You're leading 3-2. So feel free to top out the game whenever you like.
Giants is ready. And Richard is ready, so next game starts in 3, 2, 1, Tetris.
Yeah, so we don't have the same seats, guys. It looks like Richard did not increment the seat. So guys, please stop out the game and we will have to bring you in a new seat because there is not the same seat you're playing.
It's enough that we start with E8 at the beginning. E8. Richard is ready. And Giant is ready, so the 6th game starts in 3, 2, 1, Tetris.
Yeah, now we have the same seat, so let's see how the game develops. Oh, and
Both players with some
Giant
serious misdrops, and Richard's... What? Oh no! Richard is going to top out, and Giant as well!
But Giant
What's
scored
happening?
one more line for Giant, which is enough for him to take the game.
That wasn't RNG. That was both players making a series of huge mistakes at the very beginning of the game, which led to wow. 3 lines to 2. That's the lowest combined score of the tournament, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that's with a big margin. I don't know. Is there some kind of nerves on both sides, or what? How can we say what's the reason?
No
Guys, are
idea,
you
but
really
I
so
know that
nervous?
they are both ready, so the next game starts in 3, 2, 1, Tetris. But, well, kind of, in a way, it's so nice that it kind of got worse in this game, basically. In this match, we had only 3 scores over 100,000 points. Only one over 200k. That's truly extraordinary. Every single time somebody makes so many mistakes that just top out, but in this case you will always have this kind of a choice. You keep playing normally, thinking your opponent will start to play up to their potential as well, or start going safely, and Richard once again in trouble, in huge trouble, he's going to top out. What's going on?
26,600 points for Richard. And Giant, you're safe, you're leading 4-3, and suddenly you are on a match point.
All players are ready. Next game, potentially the last game, starts in 3, 2, 1, Tetris.
And we're starting with SZOL. Okay, so, and both players? No, there's the first deviation. I thought they might be playing the same. Okay, and Giant with already first Tetris, and Richard is looking for his first one. There's a Tetris for Richard. Meanwhile, Giant with 2 Tetrises. A second Tetris for Richard. And let's see what can they do. And another Tetris for Giant, 69k. Richard with 49. Richard taking a triple. Oh, and the L misdrop for Richard shouldn't be anything fatal at the moment. But you know how quickly everything can escalate.
Quite a lot, and this left, it's not looking good by any means for Richard. He's in huge trouble now. Fact is survivable, but needs time to death, and misdrops once again. That was a huge misdrift by him, and I'm afraid that's gonna be it once again. Richard's going to top out, and the Giant takes the game and the match.
And Adam, we have our first 5-3
Giant, please
score.
play this game out.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see this one decent game today.
No, that Giant doesn't want. He's happy with the win. So we have our first result 5-3 in the tournament. And Giant, after a pretty suffer match, advances to the next round where he faces Smooth from the United States.
Well, that was pretty weird, let's say. Giant with an average losing score of less than 70,000 points. Richard with an average losing score of 54,000 points. Richard says one of the palm matches of all time.
It definitely is. Yeah, especially game number 6 with 2 and 3 lines, with a total number of 5 lines. It will be remembered for forever. But it's not the record. I remember one match from CTP from like 2 or 3 years ago, where Chris Forrest placed against Lucy. Both scored 1 lines with 760 points on level 18, but Chris Forrest was able very high to score 1 pushdown point and won the game by 1 point. So the record is not broken yet. So yeah.
Let's take a look at the brackets.
Yeah, so Giant GG's for advancing to the next round. And Richard, thank you for your participation in the tournament. It was fun having you here, and especially seeing your PP in the qualifiers. So yeah, thank you for the participation. So guys, as you can see, there's the bracket. We are only with 1 match left in round of 48. Quiz has to play Messex. Then we have plenty of matches of round 4 we played. There are 2 matches of round of 32 which can be scheduled as well. So we are approaching more and more advanced stages of the tournament. For this week, it's it. This was the last match of this week. So we will be now scheduling matches for the next week for round of 40, 32, and of course the match quiz versus Messex in the round of 48. So now we officially have experienced every possible score from 5-0 to 5-4 in the tournament. And this is how we stand at the moment. How would you like to sum up it, Adam?
Well, after 17 matches, only 3 seed upsets, I believe. Also, not so great ones. Messex defeated Python round of 56.
Yeah, it's technically an upset in terms of seeds, but we know how Messex played in the qualifiers. So yeah, technically an upset. Martin versus F1 champion was also an upset, and the highest scoring
this
match
one
of
not
the.
really an upset, just 1 seed difference. So
Yeah.
everything
could happen. And we also had a highest scoring match of the tournament so far, Mr. FAQ versus Jakub yesterday, 4-5. Both players were able to collect over 4 million points in their match. So yeah, it was in terms of seeding an upset. Yeah, 40-41 Martin versus Champion and 38 versus 43 Jakub. We are approaching the stages where the differences were not so big. So yeah, we will call this upset in terms of seedings, to be precise. Yeah, as you can see, it was a very difficult match for both players, with an average losing score of Giant 69k and Richard 54, average losing lines 33 and 18, and highest scores of 235 and 177. So yeah, very very challenging time, but Giant was the one who won the match. And now, Giant, you have some time to train because now you face Smooth from the United States, and I expect Smooth to be pretty consistent. So yeah, you have to bring your A game in order to beat Smooth, the US player.
Alright, I guess that's it for now, for today, for this week. The next match isn't scheduled yet, but we can surely expect something next Saturday and Sunday in the UTC evening. Many matches to be played. Still a lot of Tetris to be played, a lot of Paldas to be played, and getting closer to those decisive matches. Then closer to the final, determining the Lollpop Cup 2023 champion. This would be it for today. Let's try to find some inspiration. I see Monthly Tetris is streaming now, hosting challenges circuits, so let's rate them.
Yeah, and thank you for today, guys. Have a nice rest of the day, of the evening, and see you next week with another Lollpop Cup 23 action. Thank you for today. Bye bye.
Thanks, bye.